Hello guys, so welcome back. Today we'll be seeing what is RAG, Retrieval-Augmented Generation. So let's get into our topic. So what is Retrieval-Augmented Generation? So RAG is a process of optimizing the output of large language model. So it references an knowledge base outside of its training data source before generating a response. So LLMs are trained on vast amount of data and use billions of parameters to generate original output for tasks like answering the questions, translating the languages, and completing the sentences. So RAG extends the already powerful capabilities of LLMs to specific domain or an organization's internal knowledge base. So all without the need to retrain the model. So it is a cost effective approach to improving the LLM output so it remains relevant, accurate, and useful in various contexts. So why RAG is important? So LLM are a key technology powering the intelligent chatbots and other natural language processing application. The goal is to create bots that can answer user questions in various contexts by cross-referencing given knowledge source. Unfortunately, the nature of LLM technology introduces unpredictability in LLM response. So, additionally, LLM training data is static and introduces a cutoff date on the knowledge it has. So, known challenges of LLM which are presenting the false information when it does not have the answer. The second one is presenting out of date or generic information when the user expects a specific current responses. Third one is creating a responses from non-authoritative sources. And fourth one is creating inaccurate responses due to terminology confusions. You can think of the LLM as an over enthusiastic new employee who refuses to stay informed with current events but will always answer every questions with absolute confidence. Unfortunately, such an attitude can negatively impact user trust and is not something you want your chatbot to emulate, right? So RAG is one of the approach to solving some of these challenges. It redirects the LLM to retrieve the relevant information from predetermined knowledge sources, and organizations have greater control over the generated text output. And users can gain insight into how the LLM generates those responses. So moving on to the next one, what are the benefits of retrieval augmented generation? So here I have given four major benefits. The first one is cost effective implementation. Chatbots development typically begins like using foundational models. So foundation models are API accessible LLM trained on a broad spectrum of generalized and unlabeled data. The computational and financial cost of retrieving the foundational models for organization or domain specific informations are high. So the RAG is more cost efficient approach to introduce new data to the LLM. So it makes generative AI more broadly accessible and useful. The second benefit is like current information. Even if the original training data sources for an LLMs are suitable for your needs, it is challenging to maintain the relevancy. So RAG allows the developers to provide the latest research statistics or news to the generative models. And they can also use the RAG to connect the LLM directly to the live social media feeds or news sites or other frequently updated information sources. So the LLM can then provide the latest information to the user. So the third one is enhanced user trust. So RAG allows the LLM to present accurate informations with source attribution. So the output can include the citation or references to the source. So users can also look up the source documents themselves if they require further clarification or more detail. So this can increase the trust and confidence in your generative AI solution. And the final one is more developer control. So with RAG, developers can test and improve their chat application more efficiently. So they can control and change the LLM's information source to adapt to changing requirements or cross-functional usage. So developers can also restrict sensitive information retrieval, In addition, like they can also troubleshoot and make fixes if the LLM references incorrect or information sources for specific questions. So organization can like implement generative AI more confidently for a broader range of application. So moving on to the next one, how RAG works. So without RAG, the LLM takes the user input and create the response based on the information it was trained on or what it already knows. So with RAG, an information retrieval component is introduced that utilizes the user input to first pull information from the new data source. The user query and the relevant informations are both given to the LLM. The LLM uses the new knowledge and its training data to create the better responses. So here in the right side diagram, which shows the conceptual flow of using RAG with LLMs. So we will discuss one by one in detail. So the first one is creating the external data. The new data outside of LLM's original training data set is like called external data. So it can come from multiple data sources such as APIs, database, or document repositories. The data may exist like in various format like files, database records, or long form text. So another AI technique which is called like embedding language model which converts the data into numerical representation and stores it in the vector database. So this process creates a knowledge library that the generative AI model can understand. So the second step is retrieve the relevant information. So it is to perform a relevancy search. The user query is converted to a vector representation and matched with the vector database. For example, consider a smart chatbot that can like answer human resource questions for an organization. So if an employee searches for how much annual leave do I have, the system will retrieve annual leave policy document alongside the individual employee's past leave records. So these specific documents will be returned because they are highly relevant to what the employee has input. The relevancy was calculated and established using mathematical vector calculation and representation for to be really simple. And the third step is like augment the LLM prompt. So RAG model augment the user input or prompts by like adding the relevant retrieved data in the context. So this step like uses the prompt engineering techniques to communicate effectively with the LLM. The augmented prompt allows the LLM to generate like an accurate answers to the user queries. And the final one is updating the external data. The next question may be like, what if the external data becomes stale? So to maintain the current information for the retrieval, asynchronously update the document and update the embedding representation of the document. So you can do this by through the automated real-time process or periodic batch processing. Yeah. So let's see what is the difference between like RAG and semantic search. So we have talked about semantic search as well in the previous section. Semantic search enhances the RAG results for organization wanting to add vast external knowledge source to their LLM application. So modern enterprises store the vast amount of information like manuals, facts, research reports, customer like service guides, and then human resource document repositories across various systems. So context retrieval is challenging at scale and lower the generative output quality. So semantic search can scan a large database of disparate information and retrieve the data more accurately. For example, they can answer the questions such as what was the expenses of the previous year. So by mapping discussions to the relevant document and returning the specific text instead of search result. So developers can use these answers to provide more context to the LLM. The conventional or like keyword search solution in RAG produces limited results for knowledge intensive tasks. So developers must also deal with word embeddings, document chunking, and other complexities such as like as they manually prepare their data. In context like semantic search do all the work of the knowledge base preparation, so developers don't have to. They also generate semantically relevant passage and token words ordered by relevance to maximize the quality of RAG payload. Yeah, that's it for today. Hope this will help in your RAG journey, and yeah, see you all in our next video. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.